if someone is a school teacher and says, I don't want to teach in the classroom anymore,
Right.
there's opportunities for you to be a corporate trainer. Someone
That's
has to
good.
train the employees to do their job. And if you're used to teaching and you no longer want to deal with the youth and
Right.
want to come to a more professional atmosphere, there's opportunities for that.
Take control of your career and compensation right now. It's your 5-minute career hack. Hi, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm so excited and feel so blessed to be able to complete this interview today with none other than Scott Mitchell of Chase Bank. This special series that we've curated for you at the 5-minute career hack is designed to give you insider access to a broader financial services industry and help more people pivot into what I consider to be a growth industry in financial services. This is one of the many industries that we will be covering in this special series. And if you have any specific industry you're watching this live or on the replay, or a question that you want covered or answered, be sure to comment below and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Oftentimes, when you're making a career shift or a career change or looking to get into a new industry, it can be a little vague as to what you might need to do or cloudy as to what steps you need to take next. And Scott Mitchell has decades of experience. Let me say that again, decades of experience. And he'll be able to shed some light and help you if it's your desire to transfer, transition, or pivot into the financial services industry. Or if you're already in the financial services industry, you'll be able to get some tips on how to grow there. So, without further ado, like we like to get straight to it, no fluff, all action. I'm going to turn it over to Scott Mitchell of Chase Bank to tell us a little bit about himself, his career, and we'll get started with this interview.
I love the no fluff. This is, well, again, my name is Scott Mitchell. I've been with Chase Bank going on 22 years. I started in early 2001 as a senior recruiter. I did not make my bones at Chase. I started at a mortgage company as a recruiter assistant and moved my way up into a full-fledged recruiter. But I do have legal experience, management experience in other fields. I've even worked in the industry, medical industry, and entertainment in my
Oh,
past.
wow.
So I've done quite a bit as far as interviewing and hiring and onboarding new talent, background checks, and just dealing with everything from an HR standpoint in the hiring process of new employees. And so, again, my specialty is dealing with the bank branch itself, but even within banking, I've worked in mortgage, business banking, business lending, just to say a few,
Right.
auto finance. And again, I am dealing with the hiring of the bank branches in the greater Los Angeles and Orange County areas. So
Awesome.
right now I cover close to about 325, 345 branches, which is about 12 regions. I do partner with a coworker. All 12, I don't have to oversee every day, but a solid six of those 12 are what I'm dealing with on a daily basis for sure.
That's awesome.
So,
So just to recap, I want to make sure because I do actually want you to name all those different types of positions that you've hired for. And primarily because I don't know if all of our audience is well versed in the different jobs and different, nuances of the banking industry. So if you don't mind, I'd love, Scott, if you could go through that kind of laundry list of different segments within Chase even.
sure. The bank is comprised of multiple facets. Everyone knows about the banking and checking and savings accounts. Well, that's the bank branch itself. Within the bank branch, they sell multiple products. You have auto finance. So if you want to buy a new car, refinance a car, we have that. We have residential lending. So if you want to buy a house or refinance your house, we have that. We have commercial lending and wholesale lending, and that's dealing with more of the businesses and the finances. We even finance movies.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Did not know
uh,
that.
yes, along with that, we have credit card. So, and with the credit card, we have the Chase credit card. We deal with Walt Disney with their credit card primarily, but we also have our credit cards that you might see advertised on TV. And then the investment side that deals with the mutual funds, insurances,
Mhm.
college saving plans for families, along with the stocks, bonds, and trades of Wall Street. We have a full division that deals with that. So I primarily deal with the bank branch. I deal with the licensed individuals that are there to sit down with an average individual that can go over their financial needs. These individuals that I recruit for will deal with and have their Series 6, their Series 63 licenses, their life and health, and a securities licenses. We call it the SIE licenses. And other companies will require Series 7 license, but those are the four primary that we cover. Now, along with the bank, again, with the products that I just named, we have divisions that support all of those products and services. So we have a full auto division that deals with the payments and the approvals, that deals with the car dealerships, the credit card division, the approvals, looking at your finances, updating information, along with the areas that if you don't pay your bills, they'll
Right.
come
That's
after you.
collections, right.
Exactly, the collections, and along with the residential lending and everything else, they have all of those other entities within the bank: bankruptcy, foreclosure, collections, customer service, reconveyance, loan workouts. So all of those different areas, they hire for within a financial institution. So you might be looking to get into finance, but you really, and my question a lot of times back in the day, we used to always go to job fairs and people say, I don't want to work for the bank. My question has always been, where? What thought have you put into where you want to work? What do you know about the bank?
Right.
Have you done any research to find out what you like about it? What Because again, you can say I want to sit down and be sales, but you may not be a people person.
Right.
You might need to be an analyst, someone that's crunching the numbers, working just simply behind the computer. There's others that are very outgoing, that love that
Mhm.
interaction, to talking to customers. They may start out in a call center,
Right.
environment, or again being out in the field, setting up appointments, and introducing customers to stuff that will help them, those products that'll take them to another level. So I've done recruiting from car audio. I manage companies that or branches that did a lot of entertainment, car customizing for
Right.
entertainment. And I managed those different stores. I had customers from Michael T, who played Bubba, and Bubba,
Yeah.
Bubba, Gump, Tashina Arnold, Byron Scott of the Lakers, DJ Quick. I mean, I had a lot of clients over the years,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
dealing with the car customizing, but I learned management. I learned how
Mm.
to talk to people. I learned how to interact with people. For 3 years of my career, I had 19 employees, got beat up, and learned a lot dealing with that.
Right.
So I kind of my background is very diverse. I
Right.
worked with Soul Train. I worked
Oh,
in
wow.
production. On the TV show for a little while. Where I got out of high school. Was a boy Friday. A boy Friday is I watered bonsai trees. I swept. I moved furniture. I got the van washed. I did whatever they needed me to do. But that's how I was raised. Whatever you do, you be the best.
And so what I
And
hear you saying, and not to interrupt you, what I hear you saying is your career path is a testament to the different industries, right? The different
yes,
jobs, and the
yes,
different skills that become transferable to
yes,
the jobs as you have personally progressed in your career. Would that be a
absolutely.
correct, safe assumption?
I think so. I believe
Yeah.
so. What I learned in my younger years and just trial and error, I use every day.
Right.
I'm a talker. You could tell. I
Yes,
can
I
talk.
love it.
It's my job to talk and to explain and try and be clear. Sometimes I'm oversimplifying things, but I want to make sure and I put myself into other people's shoes. If it was me, what would I want to know about a
Right.
position? What would I want to know about a company? What I would like to know some minefields that, will help me, in some puddles that
Hmm.
I don't have to step in. So I always try and share a little bit of that as I do my job. And it's all
Absolutely.
because of what I've learned in the past.
That's amazing. An amazing way to start off. So I heard at least 30 different entities within the banking industry, right? So thinking
Yes,
Chase and other banks similar to Chase, those are just
absolutely.
a handful. And I know there's more, right? But
Yes.
for those listening, when you think about it, he also said research. You want to research and understand if you're looking to pivot into the financial services industry, specifically banking, it's going to be important to research because there's a ton of jobs, right? So he named about 30 different places, but within those 30 different places, I'm sure there's different levels, there are different divisions, even within a division, right? Would that be
Yes,
correct, Scott?
I would say so. The support staff that basically supports every single division.
Mhm.
What I mean, even breaking it down to if someone is a school teacher and says, I don't want to teach in the classroom anymore,
Right.
there's opportunities for you to be a corporate trainer. Someone
That's
has to
good.
train the employees to do their job. And if you're used to teaching and you no longer want to deal with the youth and
Right.
want to come to a more professional atmosphere, there's opportunities for that.
Right.
If you're a writer, you wanna come into an atmosphere where now we need people to make the brochures that people use, the information. Those are corporate writers, there's opportunities if people think outside of the box,
Right.
not just the normal, "Hey, bank is a teller, I'll be a t" No,
Right.
you don't
Just
have to
counting
be a teller.
money or how we might see it.
There's opportunities from IT, from computer access, from monitoring, security, there, there's background checks, like I said, the legalities of just
Thank you.
hiring somebody into a financial institution. Individuals have to get fingerprinted. We have to check background checks. We run fingerprints through FBI.
Right.
There's a lot of different entities that makes an organization as big as Chase run. And this is duplicated from, say, a B of a Wells Fargo, and
Right.
so on, Citibank.
So some of these things, to your point, will be transferable to other banks as well, other big major banks
Absolutely.
like Chase. And I want to circle back to something you mentioned specific to the positions that you're hiring for branches
Yes.
right now. And you said you are responsible for the ones that for the individuals that you hire that will be licensed in the branch. And you mentioned the Series
Yeah.
6, the 63, and the life insurance license, I believe, was the other one.
Yes, and the
So
security, the
and
SIE.
the SIE. So my question to you here would be, do you all sponsor that? So is that something that you sponsor if you hire an individual and you'll pay for those licenses? Did I
We do.
hear that?
Yes, we will sponsor the right individuals to come in. Many companies, many industries, they'll put it on you as an individual to pay for your licenses. You'll
Right.
have to seek out the classes, and then a lot of companies will have you go through and have you study and not get paid. We
Mm,
hire you into the bank. We will pay you a salary to learn. We will give you time on the job to study. And you will have a few attempts to be able to pass those exams. We give you 6 months, 180 days to pass all four licenses. Now,
mm,
that may not, someone might think, well, that's not a lot of time. Well, just to take the life health license, you have to go through 52 hours. What is
right.
52 hours? That's a little bit over a week of study.
Right.
So and we're giving you
It's not like
6 months.
college. It's not like an undergraduate
No,
degree. Right.
no, exactly.
And each
So
state
we
might have
give
slightly different hours, but I know even in Louisiana that feels about right, maybe a little bit less. But to your
yes,
point, it's not a month, 2 months commitment
no,
to actually take the course in most
no,
states.
no, and we do it in time and in turn. So we normally have you start off with the hardest one, I think, is the SIE
Mhm.
exam. That's the one that knocks out a lot of individuals, and it's because they either don't have good study skills, they
Mhm.
don't give themselves enough time. You gotta turn off the TV, you gotta go into
Right.
the other
You
room,
gotta put
you
in
gotta
the
cut
work.
off the phone, and you gotta put in the work. And so, once individuals pass all of the exams, then they come in either as a relationship banker,
Hmm.
and that title is universal to other banks, but with Chase, it is a licensed position. So, if someone went to another bank and they were a relationship banker, that's more of the entry level. Our position is the entry level on steroids.
Right.
So, it's definitely not entry level, what you get in your licenses, and you're able to sell the products and services. And then we have the next level position that I recruit for, which is a private client banker position.
Okay. Yeah.
And in that position, you're doing the same thing as a relationship banker, but it's geared towards higher net worth
Mm.
individuals. So
Okay.
150, 250,000, 300,000 or more in the bank. And then there's a cutoff. And then we also have wealth management division. I don't recruit for that area, but that would be the next progression in
Next level.
someone's career, the next level.
So, just to recap for the audience, I want to make
Okay.
sure they are catching what you're putting down. So, Chase Bank, right? Not saying other
Yes.
banks, but Chase
Talking
Bank
about taste.
will
Hmm.
hire you,
Yes.
enable, if you qualify, obviously, you got to meet the qualifications, do your
Hmm.
interviews. They will hire you, pay you, train you, sponsor
Yes.
you by paying for you to get a Series 6 63 life insurance license and the SIC. Is it
The
SIC?
SIE. SIE.
SIE, excuse me, the SIE license. And all of these are licenses that will then be a part of your resume, your
Absolutely.
portfolio, because they're your
Yes.
licenses. Your name is on the license. They're just sponsoring you to get them, and you'll have those forever
Absolutely.
as long as you meet the continuing education as well
Exactly.
as renewals of those licenses.
That
So
is correct.
they'll do all of that and pay you while you're learning for a 6 month period, basically.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Your gold in the financial institution or financial arena with those licenses. If you have those licenses, you are desired by companies. So you can go out and apply. You're going to get an interview. You're going
Automatically.
to consider
Almost
automatically.
automatically. Like, I don't like
Yes.
to say guarantees are like 100%, but
No,
I say it's like in a 90 percentile.
you're up there, exactly. And then it just comes down to your interviewing skills and other
Correct.
things, regarding going forward. But
Right.
we're constantly hiring individuals. We look for sales backgrounds. We love the commission sales backgrounds. But
Mhm.
again, you're going to be a financial consultant with us. So you have to have interpersonal skills.
Right.
You have to have those skills to be able to sit down with an individual, ask questions, and make a financial plan for that individual or family. That's
Right.
essentially what the job is. Along with that, I do recruit for the branch management positions, so the leadership positions.
Okay.
So that's the assistant manager and branch manager. And we also have a branch manager trainee position.
Okay. So looking for some
So
leaders out there as well, some people with prior management experience.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It always helps.
Right. It
We
does. It
normally
does.
will not, being a Chase, being the biggest bank out there, we're not going to consider if you don't have any
Right.
financial management experience. It's just we need that next level individual to come
Right.
in for our particular environment for sure.
Right. So there's levels to it, right? So depending upon for the audience listening, there's levels to it within the banking industry that you can break into and
Mhm.
get professional licensing, get training. There's levels to management so you can continue to grow your career. It's not just I come in, I'm doing one job and that's the only job I can do. Would that be correct as well?
That is correct. I mean, even if you're entry level, we have the associate banker. Other banks call it a
Mm.
bank teller.
Right.
Our associate bankers, for most of the country, is anywhere between $18 to $23 an hour.
Right.
And that's in the entry level. That's coming from fast food,
Right.
McDonald's, Burger
Right.
King, or working at a mall, Dillon's or Macy's,
Right.
Walmart. If you have good customer service skills, cash handling skills, we can find a place for you in a
Get
lot of our
started.
bank branches. We just need consistency.
Yes.
We're not looking for the job hoppers, the tumbleweeds. I don't like looking and hiring people that's trying to find themselves. Got to find yourself somewhere else. When you
Right.
know who you are, what you're trying to do, have an idea, you can come talk to us, and we will definitely try and give you an opportunity if you uh, meet the standards.
Right.
But the opportunity is here. and you don't have to die or retire as a private. I use it from a
Right.
military term. You can come in and you
And
can
grow.
grow.
Yep.
When you deal with smaller institutions, you got to wait for, someone to die or retire before you move
Right.
up.
Right. Right.
That's not necessarily our MO. We have opportunities. We're constantly hiring, promoting, and growing.
Okay.
And so that's the draw. That's my pitch that I
That's your
normally give
pitch.
them.
So,
Yes.
question, and just to kind of circle back to the research as we kind of wrap up this interview, from a research standpoint, where should someone go to start to research these different entities within the banking industry, even at Chase or broadly?
Okay. There's a couple of things that an individual can do. um, if you got a bank account. The best information is sitting down with a financial consultant that's there
Oh,
and ask
great.
questions. Go in. They're there to help you with anything and everything, and they'll be happy to answer your questions, even giving you their story of how they started and got their foot in the door.
So
Right?
basically, if I've got an account with Chase or any other bank, go into the bank and sit down and have a conversation and interview that individual about their
Absolutely.
job, what they do, the services that they provide. So that's on
Absolutely.
hands on, in person research. I love that.
That's
I love
hands
that.
on. Second, if you're looking at positions, read the job description. The
Right.
job description tells you what the company is looking for. And then that way you can cater your resume towards the job description,
Right.
along with doing that basic research and knowing those keywords. And that way you can hopefully take that next step and move forward that way. You can also reach out on LinkedIn. Recruiters are always happy to discuss information. What I would highly suggest people don't do, this is a quick don't for LinkedIn.
Okay, good. I
Uh,
like it.
uh, Make sure you ask a few questions first. Hello, I see you're a recruiter. What position do you recruit for? Ask whoever you reach out to, what do you do, what position you recruit for, and what area you
Right.
recruit for.
Geography, right?
Geography.
Correct.
Because I get people all the time seeing that I'm a Chase recruiter saying, "Hey, I applied for da 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 job. I don't even know what that position is or where it's
R-
located or who the recruiter is for that." We have close to 500 recruiters with
Right.
Chase.
Right.
My team is 12 people. I have no idea who covers every single position in every department nationwide or worldwide. So it's always best ask a simple question. Hi, I see you're a recruiter. What position do you recruit for? What area do you recruit for? That way the person can respond to you before you write a full paragraph of what you're doing, why you want the
Right.
position, why you applied. And because, most I don't have time to respond to those type of emails,
Right.
instant messages or LinkedIn. So just a quick tip. But if you just say, hey, I want information about the positions that you recruit for, I recruit for this. Great. I'm interested. I
And
live over here. Can we set up a time to chat? Hey, great. No problem. So it's just little things of
right.
being professional and what to do and how to get a better response
When you
from
get in the
those who
LinkedIn
are
DMs.
when you get into
Yeah.
the LinkedIn DMs.
Right.
Glassdoor, will tell you a little bit about the good and bad. You'll get people on there
Right.
giving their feedback of different companies. Again, sometimes you got to take it with a tablespoon of salt,
Right.
because
Right.
sometimes they left on bad terms due to them,
Right.
but sometimes people don't face their own baggage. So they don't give that, to move forward. But those are a quick few items to kind of check out if you're interested in finding out more information about a specific position or division or something like that within a financial institution.
Man, that's great, Scott. And I sincerely appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule for the amount of branches that you hire for, you and your team. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing and being open to share with more people that are looking to pivot into the financial services industry. I couldn't have asked for better tips. The audience is going to even get a hack to be able to drop into recruiters' DMs. So he just gave that to you and told you what his preferences are as a recruiter that's been in the industry for decades. But I guarantee you, that holds true across every industry,
I
right?
think so.
Every
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, I want to give you the opportunity, Scott. If there's one thing you could tell people right now about the hiring market, the employee market, and breaking into a new industry, what would be your one piece of advice? What would be your one hack to share with
No,
individuals?
I would say know your resume. Know you.
Mm,
Know your baggage. Know your positive highlights. Be ready to discuss what you're going to bring to the table, how you're going to make me money, how you're going to save me money, how you're going to be an asset. You know,
mm,
those are some key things that I learned starting early. No negatives. Everything is positive. Don't ever, go negative in an interview. Keep a big Kool-Aid smile, know your nonverbals. But again, know you. No one should know you
right.
better than you. And if you
Wow.
know your background and experience and be ready to answer those open-ended questions in an interview, then you'll do well. And I know we're not covering that today, but
Right,
I
right.
mean
But look, but Scott, man, if y'all drop in the comments if y'all want to see Scott back here in the near future to talk about that interview process, because I know you've got some gems with all that experience, the do's and the don'ts. So let us know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. And I'll make sure that I beg and plead Scott to come back and circle back and do this for us again. Incredible time. I've learned a lot, especially about what you all are doing with entry level positions, the licensing that I plan to share with any and everybody that I know, and be a recruiter, a pseudo recruiter for Chase Bank as well, because I think that's phenomenal what you all are
I
doing with those
appreciate
licenses. And as we wrap up, I just want to tell the audience, be sure to click that subscribe button. If this helped you, if this interview helped you, if it's giving you some nuggets, helping you to think differently, learning how to research, drop into people's LinkedIn DMs, from a recruiter standpoint, just leave us a comment below and let us know that this was very helpful to you. And until next time, as I end every podcast, I love you and I'll talk to you soon.
Now, the 5-minute career hack, we call this hacking. Look at you. You just did it. And you don't have to stop here. Take one step every week and ensure that you are pouring into you and getting closer to your career goals. Yep, you see that button down there? Hit subscribe, but don't stop there, because you know what they say, sharing is caring. So take 5 and we'll see you next week.